Marcus Garvey and his work, his body of work, what he have outlined, his organization, the UNIA. What's your perspective on Marcus Garvey? Because I know not every Rasta kind of hold Marcus in the same light as many other Rasta do. What's your view on him?
Okay, so growing up in that place and going through the schooling system, I've listened to many of his speeches. I've checked him out on whatever they have on YouTube and stuff like that. And I do see him as the forerunner for black awakeness. Awaken our consciousness, awaken even some of us our spirituality, awaken our interest in Africa as a black nation, as a self-indulgence and self-reliance, meaning business, entrepreneurship, etc. Um, I do see him as the prophet who foretold about the crowning of a black king in a black country, and then realizing that His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I was crowned November the 2nd, 1930, here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in the St. George's Church, and that church still exists. I go and I see it. He was the one who prophesied that this event, this major world event, would happen and would take place. And then, leading up to that, people started looking and trying to figure out, well, where and who and when. So on the coronation, when Rastafari Makonnen, alongside Empress Menen, Queen Empress Menen, when the coronation took place and his name was changed to Haile Selassie I, come realize it means power of the Holy Trinity. Haile Selassie I is the power, the first power of the Trinity. So, according to Marcus Garvey and what he were proposing, 7 miles of Black Star Liner, etc., he was a pro-black and he was all for a black nation to be developed. The Black Wall Street, we know about them things there. Yeah, it started from Marcus. So not only was he prophet, but he also preach and teach about the greatness of one's self. And therefore, my grandparents, they had the opportunity to indulge themselves in some of these teachings, in some of those actions and activities, and yet still, they in America, in America, they charged him and put him in prison for a big lie, to talk about tax evasion and so forth. So, for me, Marcus Messiah Garvey, it's very, very urgent. I mean, important for us to know and to recognize what really took place back then.
Yeah, true. Very important for us to know. But and your thoughts now that they have pardoned him a few months ago, about 2 months ago, the US have pardoned him. What does that mean for the eye? What significance does that hold?
Well, the pardoning is just one aspect of a whole bunch of things that was already broken. I don't know if they can ever bring back the pieces together. Like Humpy Dumpy fall off of the big wall, and we don't know if he can put back together again. Marcus Garvey, not only did he inspired a lot of us in modern time, but there are other things that he had to establish, UNIA and so forth, in order to bring that black nation and black self-awareness together, to impart upon us knowledge and so forth. they have to respect and acknowledge, go back in their archives and in their lies buried in their library. They have to go back and dig up some of these ancient writings and ancient um, speeches from the man himself, the prophet, and revisit these words and impart these words back to people again. They need to bring these things back. 7 Miles of Black, Styliner. We sing about these songs. You hear many songs about the ships and so forth. Yeah, they have to break down them battleship there and start to get together the vehicle that's gonna repatriate our people back to the motherland. They had their slave ships, Jesus and Amistad, and the rest of those kind of slave ships that they used to carry my people across the ocean. And they need to bring us back forward. They need to come forward with, reparation and repatriation.
Totally agree with the I. Totally agree. We was transported in the West illegally. I mentioned a few names earlier, like Frederick Drakes and John Hawkins and Columbus and them bridging there. Was some serious pirates who, they were the ones who were trafficking African people from the west coast of Africa. But our history, as the I keep reiterating earlier, our history is more vast than just slavery. Because when you check before transatlantic, you had Africans coming across in the Americas long before we had Europeans making this voyage.
Yeah.
Yes, I. So the way they try to hold us with our history, our heritage, like it's just began at slavery, when our thing is vast beyond that. We're talking about Mansa Musa and bridging, like those who travel prior before those pirates came to the Caribbean.
That's right.
What do I want to deliberate share something on that?
Well, actually, as I studied and I realized that even the Arabs, they were the ones who actually had the slave thing going even before, let's say, the white man kind of took over in those premises, right?
Right.
Some of the queen.
So when you say the Arabs, we are talking about the sub-Saharan slave trade, right? Yeah, it look like the connection kinda set away. Would I love the connection come back up? The reasoning just
okay.
My brother.
Now?
Yes, I can hear the eye. Yes, I. We're up
All
again.
Right. Yeah, so some of the Arabs I'm talking about from Saudi Arabia and that side of the peninsula, they were actually indulged in the slavery thing. And only that the Europeans had witnessed these kind of acts, heinous crimes and acts that the Arabic countries and part of the continent over there, they were indulged in and engaged in. So they just pick it up because they saw it was a money venture, a money-making venture when Elizabeth gave to them 3 ships to Columbus, say go explore. So it was facilitated.
Definitely.
And the Jewish people also, the so-called Jews, it was a money thing for them. Jesus, the ship when Jesus.
Yes.
Right. That was actually owned and run by some of them Jew people from back in those Jews that wear the black clothes the Caucasian Jews who wear the black clothes to originally and officially look visibly black. So we know that the original Jews were actually black people. We are the children
Okay.
of God. We are the sun people, black-skinned people. So they took it upon themselves in order to for money, in the pursuit of wealth, copper and diamonds and all them De Beers and all of them. They took it upon themselves in order to run them ships there and bring us out here talking about they're looking for gold, they're looking for wealth, they're looking for other things. It turned against them when they actually found out that the West was not so easy according to what they had perceived. And there was no such goal and no such this and no such that they were looking for. So they financed the plantation and say, okay, let's grow some sugarcane and make some rum. Junk them off and we will get the benefits thereof when we party.
And that's absolutely what went on and still is happening today. See?
Yeah.
Yes, I. Still happening today. All right.
Yes, sir.
I moved to Ethiopia. What inspired that move from Canada to Ethiopia, and how does it how the decision connect with Rastafari and its way of life?
Oh boy. Okay, now this is the part I'm trying even on my side here. I have some notes that I would like to use also in order to guide me through, because it is very important. That question you asked is the main question why I'm here on your mindset platform, because it's the mindset. Yeah.
Rastafari.
Lesser love. So while I was there in Canada for all those years, I realized that my connection is back to Ethiopia. After living there for 39 years to make 40 years, what we call the 40th anniversary, I do decided that, look, enough is enough, and I want to leave Canada and make my 40th year abroad in Ethiopia. So I picked it up upon myself and decided I'm leaving, I'm going home. So I repatriated myself back to Ethiopia. Yes? All right. First of all, I had a call from someone in Shashamane who goes by the name of Ambassador Jasmine Rowe. This was about the time when Google, ABC, NBC, BBC, and all of them Western media was talking about Ethiopia in a negative and deplorable way, that the TPLF, against the government of Abiy Ahmed, there were some junta. So these were the words that we were getting out in the West. All right. Now, when I heard those things, they said that in Addis Ababa, there was maybe not in Addis Ababa specifically, but there were some unrest going on up north of Ethiopia in the northern region. And that the government was fighting this kind of unstable situation, and they calling them problematic. So that call that came in was inviting Rastafarians to make a song about coming together and stand up for Ethiopia, just like we did in the times of South Africa against apartheid. So they were looking for some Rasta music and some Rasta things that will help to support Ethiopia against the propaganda that was being spread through Western media about these insurrection that was taking place here in Ethiopia. Yeah.
Yes, I.
All right. So I, having my own studio, recording studio in my house, I link up with a few people, and Jamaican Jamali, he was part of the crew, and we were talking about coming together and getting this music thing recorded, and basically they said it couldn't be done. So I decided, let me give it a shot. Let me try. And I'm from Canada, so I have my own studio. So let me give it a try and see if I could do this. And then once I get the artists and get some people from all around the world to come together and send me their work, which means that it ended up becoming 12 countries from around the world, including Jamaica, here in Ethiopia, Shashamani, and one called Zeleke, who used to actually play in the band of Ziggy Marley. Anyways, we get all these artists together. They send me their stuff, and I edit it, put it together, and came up with the documentary Stand Up for Ethiopia. I did it all for free. As a matter of fact, I even sent money to Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, and Germany for those artists to pay their studio time so that they can go and record and then send me the recording. I would edit it in the studio, etc. Once that documentary was complete, big up to my brethren JB, my brother from another mother. He was in England, and I sent the clips to him.
Yes,
to
I.
edit the video.
JD, yeah, man. Big up JD.
So once, yeah, JB, right? Junior Burton.
Yeah, man.
Once JB had finished edit the video and put the documentary that I made that name, song documentary, together, he sent it back to us, and we sent it on to Shashamani. And then we heard that it was played in Ethiopia on ETV television for the celebration of Mescal. 3 months after that, which is September, October, November, December, she called back again and said, Prime Minister Abiy is making a call to the diaspora, Rasta people included, to come to Ethiopia and celebrate Timket in Misran. So these are words that I'm hearing for the very first time. I've never been to Ethiopia, not even for vacation. I've never been here for or talk a word of the language. I have no friends, nothing like that, no place to stay. Anyways, when I heard that the Prime Minister is making such a call to the diaspora, I just upped and left. In 3 weeks' time, I packed everything I had, everything I owned, and I decided I'm going home. I'm going to celebrate my 40th year anniversary abroad in the motherland. So I just picked up and come. I must say at this point in time, I came here very naive. Never spoke a word of the language. I only come here and find out that AND in English means the number 1 in Amharic. All right. So I came just arbitrarily, just like that, up, pick up, and come. And then once I reach here, mind you, I shipped all my entire 39 years of my life in Canada in 5 pallets directly from Toronto to Addis Ababa by Ethiopian airline, air cargo. So I sent that stuff over and I came. Once I arrived, then I start, that's where my personal problems and my personal troubles began. I realized that the ambassador was not really an ambassador, not in Ethiopian political arena. Apparently, she is an ambassador for the Lumi currency of the diaspora people. I never even heard of Lumi currency. Lumi currency seems to be similar to Bitcoin and them kind of something there.
Yeah.
Right? All right. So she said she could help me to clear my stuff out of the cargo. That was a lie. She also said that the Prime Minister made a call for 1 million diaspora, including Rasta. That was a lie. The Prime Minister made the call, yes, during the hashtag no more. But that call was specifically towards Ethiopian-born individuals who was living in the diaspora. So me come as a Rasta, as a Jamaican, and when you really check it out now, Ethiopia government has nothing in place to receive I from the West. Whoever is Rastafari, whoever is Jamaican, Antiguan, Trinidadian, Belize, Brazil, no black people. Ethiopia does not have anything in place to receive us as a people. So now my struggles and my troubles began starting from the cargo. I shipped 5 pallets. In the cargo, they stole 2 of them. They stole the items that's equivalent to 2 of my pallets. Some stuff I didn't get until today, 3 years later and counting. I still didn't get certain items. I still didn't get my personal stuff. I still didn't get some of my music studio equipment, some of my clothes, all of my kitchen stuff that I brought as an entrepreneur, because I'm coming self-sufficient, self-reliant. I know I don't speak the language, so I brought certain things that will be facilitating for me to become self-sufficient. I'm a chef, so I was going to have a restaurant. I'm a construction worker, so I'm a contractor. So I brought tools and stuff to do building or build buildings, right? 2-story, 3-story buildings, whatever. So I actually came prepared, but I didn't know that there were a bunch of thieves here in Ethiopia. I come to find out that they call them labor. In Canada, a labor is a person who would help me to carry the cement and to, pass the wood, fling me up the hammer if I'm on the roof or something like that. Here in Ethiopia, I come to find out that labor is a thief. So from the cargo, they start to steal my stuff, bro. Right? I've been to different offices because they sent me and tell me, go get some supporting document. So I've been to Tourism, Arts and Cultural Office, Dr. Hilrut. I've been to Ministry of Foreign Affairs and External Affairs. That's Madam Bertukon. I've been to Ministry of Finance in Cities Kilo. I didn't even know where I was going, but I found it. They claim that they are the ones who control the revenue, because I was trying to import my stuff, even though they're personal, and they're the ones who could determine whether I pay tax and duty upon stuff that I own for like 39 years, literally. My bass guitar and other instruments I bought when I was like 17 years old. And now they want to charge me 3 times the amount of the value from 39 years ago in the cargo to take that equipment out. They charged me 1.5 million per. And I said, I don't have that kind of money. I come home to Ethiopia and I come to help the country to do certain things. And I can't pay that. So
let me ask you a question. Do you think that coming home to Africa, repatriating, do you get the sense that ones are seen as some form of money venture or a banking system?
Definitely so, my brother. And if at this point in time I can tell you that to all the world and to Jamaica, Rastafari, wherever you are, Australia, South Africa, the Caribbean, America, Canada, wherever you're coming and you're saying Rastafari, whether you're Bobo, Naya Bingi, 12 Tribe, or for that matter, E.W.F members, or African Union, or UNIA, as long as you come into Ethiopia, you need to be, I have a list here in my hand, you need to be self-reliant. You need to have professional and trade in your mind to be some kind of mechanic or a doctor or carpenter or something, because you got to be professional and think about doing trade. You have to have a bag of money. The brethren just asked me that question. Because yes, when they look at us, no matter how black your skin is, they still see you as a foreign G here in Ethiopia. They're not looking at you as a brother from that perspective. All they think is Western Union. Huh? All right, you need to learn the language from out there before you come here, because from the time I touch down in the airport, they're saying certain things to me. I have no clue what they're saying. They're charging me money. I have no understanding of how much is the currency. What are they talking about? So please, I beg of you, start learning some Amharic language out in the West or wherever diaspora you are. Please take some courses, find out, learn some words, learn how to count, learn the days of the week. Because here, most people, even though they speak English, they tell you they don't speak English. They want you to now speak Amharic. If you don't speak Amharic, that's a way for them to rip you off. That's a way for them, easy pickings. They will thief your things then. Yeah, right in the airport. No joke. You need to organize yourself. Rastafari, Bobo, Naya Bingi, even E.W.F. Come together, please, and thank you. Come together as one organized body. I beg of you, because here they don't see and they don't respect the division. I come here to realize that E.W.F, there is two of them in USA. His Majesty made one E.W.F with the charter and all of that. But before I left Canada, I found out that there's two organization body of E.W.F, Ethiopia World Federation. And none of them, it's like they couldn't help me, because I was living in the time of COVID, the vaccination, and one lady, she ended up helping me. Her name, Madonna. Big up to Madonna.
Yes, I.
get the letter, and I moved to Ethiopia without taking the vaccination, without taking the juke. But once I get to Ethiopia and I was going through my issues and I need help from E.W.F, there's an E.W.F here. Actually, there's two of them I come to find out. Tagasa King. He's running one part of E.W.F and the next brethren. I can't even remember. Kush. Yeah. So now there's two E.W.F in Ethiopia, and they're thinking that, well, Ethiopia is Ethiopia is the original place of E.W.F. So Ethiopia should be the headquarters.
The headquarters, okay.
So that's a personal opinion from one man.
But wasn't it sent by His Majesty into the diaspora in America?
That subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset.